Welcome to Asgardian's TechX. Today we will be discussing about drone light show and its uses, the misconception of eating fat, and many more awesome topics. Thanks and always watch till the end. Drone art, also known as drone display or drone light show, is the use of multiple unmanned aerial vehicles, drones, often quadcopters, flying in a coordinated fashion with light fixtures attached. They are usually equipped with multiple LEDs, and the display held at night. The first drone display was presented in 2012 in Linz, Austria, where the Ars Electronica Futurelab introduced SPAXELS, short for space elements, for the first time. The displays may be for entertainment, where the drones may use flocking or swarming behavior. The drones may also be coordinated to produce images. Using this emerging technology, displays have been employed for advertising purposes as well. Intel has produced the Shooting Star, a type of drone used in light shows. They were used during the 2018 Winter Olympics, a Super Bowl halftime show in 2017, and a 2018 4th of July celebration. Drone light shows differ from fireworks displays in that drones are reusable, and do not produce air and noise pollution. However, drone displays cannot take place during rain or strong winds.
Skim milk on your cereal and spritzing non-fat dressing on your salads for years. But as it turns out, eating fat won't make you fat. In fact, research shows that low-fat diets don't seem to aid in weight loss or in reducing risk of disease compared to high-fat diets. And all those refined carbs that you've been eating to replace that fat might be the real issue. To understand how fat can be healthy, it's helpful to first understand what's going on with carbs in your body. When you eat a simple carbohydrate like a slice of bread, enzymes in your saliva immediately start breaking that food down into sugar. That surge of sugar triggers a hormone called insulin, which tells your body to store available energy in the bloodstream in fat tissue and in other forms. And the later surge crash makes you feel hungry, encouraging you to eat more. But fats are another story. Fat isn't processed the same way as carbs. It can't be broken down with saliva or fully digested by stomach acid. Instead, your small intestines, with the aid of bile secreted by your liver, break it down. This happens much later in the digestive process, so fat digestion is much slower. The different fats interact with your hormones in complex ways that, unlike carbs, don't cause a massive spike in insulin. And good fats are really important for your body to function properly. Monounsaturated fats can be found in olive oil and avocados. This good fat helps reduce inflammation and levels of LDL, or bad cholesterol, in the blood. Polyunsaturated fats in foods like sunflower seeds, walnuts, and fish also have significant health benefits. Fish oil, for example, consists of one type of polyunsaturated fat called omega-3 fatty acids, which have been found to decrease blood pressure, increase HDL, or good cholesterol, and may also protect against heart disease. But saturated fats found in red meat and dairy are a different story. An extensive study found that replacing a small percentage of calories coming in from saturated fats with calories from unsaturated fats reduced the risk of death, heart disease, and a number of neurodegenerative diseases. At the same time, studies show that full-fat dairy is healthier than reduced-fat dairy. One recent study found that drinking full-fat dairy was associated with a lower risk of diabetes. So while unsaturated fats are better, saturated fats aren't entirely useless. Not only are unsaturated fats essential for your body, avoiding them in the name of weight loss isn't actually a helpful way to shed unwanted pounds. A study by the Women's Health Initiative assigned women to low-fat diets for 8 years. They found the participants didn't seem to gain protection against breast cancer, colorectal cancer, or cardiovascular disease. And in the carb versus fat debate, an extensive 2017 study found no association between dietary fat and heart disease. In fact, the researchers found that high-carb diets were linked to a higher risk of death. So, if studies show that fat doesn't make us fat, or doesn't increase our risk of heart disease, and carbs make us hungry and are linked to a higher risk of death, should we all just ditch carbs altogether? Probably not. Recent research seems to advocate a balanced diet that includes a combination of healthy fats and complex carbs. Researchers found that diets high in fiber and low in refined grains, meat, and sugars resulted in less weight gain. So what should you eat? The good news is you can find healthy fats and complex carbs in a variety of tasty foods. You can find unsaturated fats in fish, olives, nuts, and seeds, and still have a place on your plate for so-called good carbs. Although you should probably avoid eating lots of refined carbs like white bread and rice. Foods like sweet potatoes, raw apples, and legumes are a different story. These foods don't cause the same sudden peaks in blood sugar. And like healthy fats, they contribute to a balanced diet to keep your body running. So go forth and toss some oil on that salad.
Be a proud new father, but first, you have to give birth to 2,000 babies. Sounds painful, right? Well, if you're a male seahorse, that is part of the job. Turns out there's a lot of animal dads out there who do all of the hard work. The hardhead catfish takes parental sacrifice to the extreme. To protect the eggs, he'll hold them in his mouth. And it's not just 1 or 2 eggs. It could be as many as 65. The eggs take up so much space that he can't eat because he might swallow one. So he'll fast for over 2 months while the eggs develop. Believe it or not, the male giant water bug takes on an even heavier load. Females lay up to 100 eggs on the male's back. He'll carry the eggs for the next 2 to 3 weeks as they develop. But during that time, the eggs and mucus glue his wings down, so that he can't even fly, making him vulnerable to predators. Plus, the eggs weigh him down so much, he has to rely on slower, easier prey like snails. Or he just doesn't eat at all. But it's worth it to ensure his future offspring are safe. Luckily, regular life after the eggs hatch, because the babies fend for themselves. That's not the case for the male Rhea. He doesn't just stick around to raise his chicks on his own. He raises multiple families at once. During breeding season, the male Rhea will build a nest to attract as many females as possible. He'll form a group with about 5 to 7 females and mate with them that season. The females lay their eggs in his nest and then skedaddle, like for good, leaving him to raise and defend all 30 or so chicks until they're about 6 months old. Talk about the challenges of being an only parent. Last but certainly not least is the male emperor penguin, who does a lot of the hard work early on. Female penguins entrust their eggs to the males. But since penguins don't have nests, the males have to play a delicate balancing act. They keep the egg warm atop their feet and away from the frozen ground they stand on. But they can't hunt or forage for food. They have to stay put and protect that egg. But the hard work doesn't even end there. By the time the chicks hatch, the fathers are starved from fasting for weeks on end, but the chicks need to be fed. So, Dad manages to regurgitate some food from his esophagus to feed the chick until Mom returns. Delicious. Thanks, Dad. Love it when you cook dinner. Looks like there's a lot of animal dads who deserve an award for Father of the Year.